Professional athletes got to where they are with practice, practice, and more practice. Something that seems simple, like the mechanics of a good baseball swing, is really the result of a lot of repetition. So let's relate this to the troubleshooting process. Checking the system the same way every time will help eliminate mistakes and make sure that you resolve the customer's problem correctly. Just like a baseball player, golfer, or other professional athlete, you're practicing a process that you'll repeat over and over to get a positive result. And that's why it's important for you not to stray from the systematic process detailed in the troubleshooting job aid. Just like athletes try to emulate the style of all-star players, the troubleshooting job aid is based off the work of top-performing technicians. In this video, we'll go over steps 4, 5, and 6B in the TJA. These cover limit scans and set-top box troubleshooting. The limit scan is the staple of troubleshooting. The initial scan behind the receiver will determine which path you take. Troubleshooting for the signal path, or troubleshooting for the set-top box. By following the systematic process detailed in the troubleshooting job aid, you can approach any technical issue confidently and resolve any issue accurately. In this video, we'll go over steps 4, 5, and 6B in the TJA. This covers the limit scan and set-top box to TV troubleshooting. As on every trouble or service call, set up the limit scan. Begin by unplugging the receiver from the power outlet. Power on your SBSM, and then set the configuration to match the dish and switch settings. Disconnect the satellite feed from the receiver. Attach the cable to the coax input on the SuperBuddy and run the limit scan. Look for a pass or a fail. A limit scan will pass if all the transponder signal levels are greater than the average thresholds, and if the dBm for all transponders is greater than -50. Pass means that the signal and power is good between the LMBF and the receiver. You can conclude that the issue is isolated between the receiver and the TV. Proceed to STB to TV troubleshooting. Explain your findings to the customer. Tell them that the issue is isolated to this area, and you'll let them know when the issue is resolved. With receiver troubleshooting, the goal is to systematically check cables and components until the root cause of the customer's issue is identified. By following the steps in the TJA, you will ensure that you do this effectively and that no simple fixes or underlying issues are missed. Let's take a look at an example of STB to TV troubleshooting. If the customer has any components such as triplexers or separators, run a limit scan around each one. This will help you determine whether or not the signal is making it through the system. You will need to read the signal levels carefully because the limit scan at these components will always fail. This is because triplexers and separators only allow signal from either odd or even transponders. So don't rely on a pass or a fail. Check the values for IRD and dBm individually. The next step is to test the outlet which the receiver is plugged into using the receptacle tester. Make sure nothing else is plugged into the outlet when testing. In this scenario, the outlet is functioning properly, so the technician plugs the receiver in. The picture is not coming in clearly. This is one place where we see the importance of not skipping steps. In initial troubleshooting, if you did not check that the TV was on the correct input, you might be wasting time here and troubleshooting the wrong problem. The picture isn't coming in clearly and the TV picture contains no error message. If you do come across an error message, be sure to address it. In this scenario, the technician moves on to the next step. In order to verify that there isn't a bad port on the TV, the technician tries another port on the TV using the same cable, and then selects the correct input on the TV. There is still no picture. The problem may be related to the cable, so the technician uses a replacement cable in the same port to try and get a picture. And the cable works. The customer's picture is now coming through clearly and consistently. The issue has been resolved. Note that replacing the receiver isn't a resolution until step H. It's important to follow the complete process to avoid unnecessary receiver replacements. For now, go on to the final step in STB troubleshooting. If the customer has other set-top boxes, perform a limit scan behind each of them. If there are no others, proceed to final quick checks. The final quick checks are intended to help you identify secondary issues or issues that may potentially arise in the future. In this video, the limit scan directed you to troubleshoot the TV and the receiver. You would not have checked any of the components outside of the house yet. Steps 4, 5, and 6B cover limit scans and set-top box troubleshooting. By systematically checking cables and components as directed in the TJA, you can resolve any technical issue efficiently and effectively. Just like athletes practice rep after rep to hone their mechanics, Repeated use of the TJA will help you improve your skills over time. It's just one of the tools developed to help make your job easier and help you have a great career at Dish. Thanks for helping us become best in class.